also agree that the American attitude towards rules does manifest itself into other entities in regards to finding loopholes. One example that I can think of as far as businesses, I have worked for a few different small businesses, and we would go out to lunch, and yes, I would be an employee, or we might briefly talk about something work related, but it was always kind of written off because as a business expense, or maybe even the previous owners of one of the gyms that I worked for wrote off their children's cars as a business expense, claiming that they were for a facility that they weren't necessarily for. So that's one way that I've seen different corporations look for loopholes. As far as other entities, you can also view maybe a bad marriage where someone might look into flirting or having an emotional affair, but finding the loophole that, oh no, it wasn't physical, that might be kind of a stretch. But I definitely have seen ways that people try to find an easy way out, especially for school. I think even in these courses, I could try to skate by, do the minimum amount of work, maybe look at Wikipedia instead of reading the textbook. So definitely a lot of them have kind of jumped over in that regard. As far as the second question, asking which degree sport reflects on society, I think it completely correlates. You can see positive examples of this. For example, 9/11, team camaraderie was a great thing, and showing the pride that we have as a country in regards to sport. I believe they played different anthems and had moments of silence and wore flags on their uniforms. I've also seen this with different players that maybe are struggling or going through cancer. The team might wear all pink to support them or a family member. As far as some of the negative ways that I've seen society reflect sport, some of the role models that people have today in sport, they might look up to, and then in a sport situation, but then in their personal life, they might not be such good people to look up to. So because it is fairly well linked, you might have your number one fan or your number one team, and then they might have a player that's been accused of rape, or they might have a player that's done dogfighting. So in an unfortunate way, they're linked negatively as well.